Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn, senior instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to have you here. Glad to be here. If you can hear me loud and clear, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. The big news today is the CPI report. Now, it's very interesting. On my social media, I saw a couple of people telling me, yeah, it's ready to rock and roll. We getting ready to rock and roll. And all I said to myself was, just by looking at the VectorVest system, there was nothing that said it was okay to buy today. Primary wave is down, confirmed call just went down. And as I look at the market right now, look at all that red. So for all those people who jump up and really like to outguess what the VectorVest system says, I hope that this is an opportunity, a learning opportunity. There was, that's a lot of red. Not only that, we prepared you for all of this red. We prepared you. Ryan just did an awesome video last night talking about market timing and talking about how to get into contras. All throughout the last couple of weeks, I think that we've done a great job trying to keep you guys on the right side of the market. And I still get blowback. I got people who think that they know more than the system knows. Now, is the system perfect? No. But is the system right more times than not? The answer to that is yes. If you agree with that, type of one, that the system is more right more times than not, type of one in the room. All right, because I again, on social media, I got people who think that they are just big, bad, and they know more than we know. And sometimes I get flustered by it because all I want to do is bring information and knowledge to people who use VectorVest. That's all. That's all we all want to do. And I'm looking at the chat. The chat, for those people who are brand new to the channel, look at the chat. For those people who continually tell me that they're not making money in the market, utilizing the VectorVest system, and I still got a couple of emails that I got to get back to in regards to that. They've given me real solid answers as to what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. And I apologize. Just give me the time to answer that all back. But all that red, primary wave is down. We got a confirmed down call yesterday. As a matter of fact, let's go look at the software. There it is. There it is. And even when the market was going up, you see right here, big caution. We were still cautioning you while the market was going up. I got emails. I got people chatting in my ear. You guys don't do, you guys are all about trading. You're not about long term. Your system is outdated. Caution. If you heeded the caution, you were not blindsided by the market. You were not blindsided by the market, man. So I put that out there for all the naysayers because there's a lot of them. And then I get all triggered by all you naysayers. I need to just stop and let the system do its job and just try to help you guys out. That's it. All right. So John says, I watched a bunch of so-called experts on YouTube last night. They're all saying the market is going up for the rest of the year. Yeah, smoke on the... I hear you. I was on this channel several times when the MTI was over 1.5 and Glenn was saying hedge your stocks. Jim Pena talked about using SPX puts when he was on. Watchdog, what resistance you recommend? I'm not sure when you say what resistance. Alberto, you gotta do that. You got to ask that a little differently. Do I ask questions then answer them myself? Yes, says Mark. No. All right, so the implied volatility for Apple remains unsustainably low, particularly relative to how expensive the stock is. If the volatility for Apple still... Stop that, Joey. If the volatility for Apple... I don't want to remove... Unpinned. There we go. Remains low... That means if you buy something, you're going to pay a low premium. Whether you buy a put, especially right about now, if you buy a put, you're not going to spend a lot of money on the premium. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. By the way, um, we have a special guest coming on today. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, so let's talk about some news that's moving the market right now. And here we go. Here's a story that inflation just increased for the first time in the year. I think that is interesting, and that goes down. People say, "Wait a minute, it cooled." It did cool. Inflation in the United States rose in July after 12 straight months of decline, boosted by costlier housing. Not only that, oil, but oil is not looked at in the number. Excluding volatility of food and energy prices, the so-called core inflation matched its smallest monthly increase in nearly 2 years. The inflation figure for the government reported Thursday showed that consumer prices increased 3.2 from a year earlier. That was up from 3% annually rise in June. All right, so it's cooling, but there's a jump. And I think, even though it's not in the core, oil is on the rise. That's an inflationary thing. All right. Next story I have, U.S. economy is in uncharted waters as inflation falls with low unemployment study. That's important too, because part of normally when interest rates go up and we got high inflation, normally we have high unemployment, but the employment market is still strong. We've got more jobs out there than people looking for them. So that's also inflationary, because if there's people, out there to work, that's more people that have income to spend into the economy. But 3 reasons why investors should be cautious about July's very encouraging CPI reading. Here's the 3 reasons. 4.7 year-over-year core CPI rate, which strips out food and energy to provide pure read on inflation, is still more than twice the Fed's 2% target. Rising energy that began late July should push the headline inflation rate, starting with data released next month, and pose an upside to the inflation risk of the core index. And number 3, the annual rate of core inflation based on another reading known as the personal consumption expenditure, the PCE, is also far above the Fed's 2% based on the most recent reading. So everything is Powell the guest? No, Powell's not the guest. I should make a call to him. If y'all need me to make a call to him today, let me know later in the stream. I might make a call to him. I might have to make a call to him. The best short right now is Plug and Roblox. I had Plug as a stock yesterday on the hydrogen space, Plug and Bloom Energy. We'll see how those work out. Those were 2 of my picks from yesterday. VectorVest keeps the keel even. Let the market come to you. You heard me say that more than one time, Drew. It's great to see inflation is cooling. Even though it did rise, technically, it is cooling. But I think the real money set in and said, wait, this still ain't so good. And that's where we stand. Natural gas prices just spiked 40% alone. You know something, in our trading room, the Jockey Club, I got us into Boyle, and we made some money on that trade. Woo-wee. All right. So that's what's going on in the market. I'm going to go back to my main screen. Hold on. Go back to my main screen. Nothing in the system said it was time to buy. My new series on Friday, 6 p.m. video is all about a market recap. So we're going to look at what VectorVest said throughout the week. I think that video is ideally suited to people who really need to learn how to utilize the data that we give on a weekly basis. So we're going to look at the whole week, and then I'm going to give you some trades to look into going into next week. I did a call to action on last Friday's video. I didn't quite get the response that I wanted, but I did get a lot of responses that said they want me to keep that going. So we'll keep that going starting tomorrow. The Friday video is all about looking over the last week, doing a market recap, what VectorVest said, and how to go into the next week. So that's going to be the 6 p.m. video tomorrow. There's a 6 p.m. video tonight. Ryan's got part 2 of Contras. So we've got so much great content on our YouTube channel that I think a lot of you don't tune into, but we talk a lot about what's going on in the market, and we keep our subscribers on the right side of the market. With all of that being said, I'm going to bring on my special guest today. His name is Jim Pena, the manager of retirement, and he's got a free webcast going on. He's going to talk to you a little bit about it, invite you to it. We're going to put the link in the chat. Everybody smash the one button for Jim right now as he comes on to give a little bit of information about what he's talking about on a free webcast that you can all go to.
Free.
All right, there you go.
All free. I'll actually send you guys a couple of bucks if you join me. I'll actually pay you to do it. How's everyone doing? Thanks for taking time. Glenn, I hope everybody's well. Joe, I hope all's good. Good to be here. Yeah, I just want to take a second. Glenn is kind enough to allow me to come on, and I just want to invite you to the 4:30 Eastern time today. We're going to talk about the three most important strategies to build and manage your retirement account. I think, Glenn, I think you have the link there if you want to bring that link up.
Yep.
I can talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about.
Gotcha.
And you know, really, it's the core strategies, right? What we call in the 3 Ps, the VectorVest 3 Ps of retirement investing. It's profit, provide, and preserve. So we're going to talk about building growth portfolios, talk about building dividend portfolios. Part of what we talk about when on the income portion, or what we call provide, is selling covered calls. I was on the Successful Investor broadcast a little while ago, and you know, a lot of folks are afraid of options. We talk about buying protective puts. We talk about selling covered calls to generate income. You don't need to be an options expert. So when you hear me say something about a covered call or a protective put, don't raise your hands, roll your eyes, and say, forget it, I don't do options. If you're building, managing your own retirement portfolio, join me today. I'll show you the importance of it, right? We'll talk about the core strategies. Now, as we know, strategies, and as Glenn knows, as a Marine, right? You have strategies and you have the tactics. You have tactics, right? To implement those strategies. We're going to touch on some of those, but mostly we're going to look at the important idea of having this plan in place, this idea of how you're going to allocate, build, and manage your retirement portfolio. So please join me. I hope that you do. Take some time there. For those who are in the room, real quick, I just want to take a second. While Glenn was talking, I'm on my other monitor here, and I just closed my protective puts in the live Thinkorswim account that we use in our retirement coaching group for just under a $2,000 gain in about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks that we've had them. The portfolios they were designed to protect are only down about $700 or $800. So we put the protective puts in. This is the power of mitigating these drawdowns. Does it always work that perfectly? Not really, but it's an insurance policy, and it works more times than it doesn't. So if you're here and you're in the retirement coaching group, I'm going to post it on the alert in the coaching room, but I just closed them as Glenn was talking for just under $2,000. Mitigation to whatever drawdown we're seeing. Now the markets are turning green again. So I think I caught it right at the right time there. But anyway, that's what we do. That's what I'll talk about today at 4:30. And it's really all about not just, listen, part of it is about finding the right stocks to put into a retirement portfolio. But one of the things I've been saying more and more lately is that in my mind, I can no longer say, okay, build your retirement portfolio, right? Buy the best stocks for your retirement portfolio. It's become one word for me to say, build and manage, right? Because it's easy to go buy some good quality stocks. VectorVest certainly makes it very easy. Okay. But it's managing that portfolio once you're in those stocks, managing with risk management techniques that are built around a process and a technique to, number one, help you protect your portfolio, protect your net worth, and then number two, grow it both by growth and dividend income as well as covered calls. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what I'm going to focus on. it worked here. And again, I don't have it on the screen here to show you, but I had both IWM for the Russell. I had SPY puts put in as protective measures. And just when the markets were in the red, I was able to close those and pocket some insurance payout. And that's it, Glenn. That's what we're doing today. Please join me if you can. Click the link there, register. I'd love to see you there.
All right. So I put my information in. The link is in the chat. It shows me that I'm registered, just that simply. All right, I'm registered. I can print the page. It's really simple to do, and it's free. It's going to be today, August 10th at 4:30, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. You can add it to your calendar. Folks, it's going to be well worth it. You want to learn how to grow your wealth, your financial, get to financial freedom. That's what it's all about. And the big thing about it is it's free. Come join them. All right, come join them. John says, Jim, the last time you were here, you mentioned selling puts to protect your profits when the MTI is up high. Your timing was excellent to give everyone a heads up. Again, I think that everyone here has done a perfect job, almost perfect, by utilizing the VectorVest system to keep you guys protected. You want to add anything more to that?
I just want to be clear, it would be to buy puts and sell calls, not sell puts. But
all right,
just to be clear on what was said there.
All right. So again, thank you for being here.
I think you sell puts. It's buy puts. I just want to be clear on that.
Is that you, Joey? That's not me. Oh, this is never mind. Hey, thank you guys for being. Thank you, Jim, for being here. We're going to continue on with the rest of the presentation, but
take care, everyone.
If you haven't already, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Jim took time out of it. He just came from a webcast to come do this. So thank you for that, Jim. I do appreciate it. All right. So again, hit that like button if you haven't already. All right. With that being said, could we have the registration link? Yes, Lifestyle Coach. It's in there. And Joey pinned it to the top of the chat. Joey pinned it to the top of the chat, Lifestyle, so it's there. And he just put it back again for you. There's the registration link. All right, there's the registration link. Gotcha. And let's keep this going. All right. What else is going on in the news? I mean, and this is where we go above and beyond once again. We try to give you how to take advantage of the current market's conditions. Let's go look at. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Disney gets Iger's second show on the road. Now, Disney did earnings. Late Wednesday event for the entertainment giant reported weaker than expected revenue. And I was on the other side of the fence. I thought that by way of their looking at the theme park, that they were going to beat on revenues. Do we really have 269 people here, Joey? Wow, awesome. Thank you for that. Man, that is awesome. We got a lot of folks up in the room. I love this. Share the link, share the link. And better than expected operating profit. That was due to an odd pairing reflected the turbulent box office, slipping tourism in Florida. There goes my whole idea of the theme park, and less cash going out the door because of Hollywood's ongoing strikes. So in doing that, they raised your subscription rate on the streaming. How many of you, I saw that, Lifestyle, how many of you are going to continue with your Disney account or ESPN? Type a 1. I'm going to type a 1. I'm on board with that. I'm going to keep it. I listen, John, I'm not going down the political path with this. And that was one of my things that I thought was going to hurt them as well, the fight between Disney and the governor of Florida. How many of you are going to continue with your Disney subscriptions? Type a 1. If you're not, type a 2. I think that, in order to help the bottom line, I think that was a smart thing to do. Now, the other side of it is, are they creating enough content for people to continue? All right. So I think Iger, and I said this yesterday, I think Iger is the right person to get them back on the right track. I still think it's going to take time. I think that's why they went back to say, hey, Mr. Iger, we need you back. I think it's going to just take time. And John says he refuses to give Disney a dollar. And no matter where you stand, listen, one just for The Mandalorian, Bradley, I'm with you. The Mandalorian is no joke. All right. I don't know what, Mark, I'm not answering. I can see that as up there, but I'm not putting that up there. But for The Mandalorian, I'm all about keeping my Disney. How about you, Joey? Mandalorian has been a fire show. It's been a fire show. All right. So with that being said, I'm not sure I'm bullish on Disney or not. I think that long term I'm bullish on Disney, just not right now. Just not right now. Writer strike could limit new content. Don't like the price hike for non-commercials. I'm with you, Jersey guy. And, that's hurting the content. You're going to raise the price on a subscription where you're not getting new content. People are going to take a second look at that and go, I'll wait, and pull out of their subscriptions. I think it's going to hurt them. But I think that it was smart on their part to try to raise the capital where they could. Now, I've got 3 EV stories here. Rivian picks up $1.1 billion in revenue. Oh, before I get there, let's go find out let's go put that in my list. Disney was my first stock. Let's go to the viewers, big new stock. Let's go put Disney in. And again, I know that Disney's got a lot of negative PR, but you know something, even with the report, it's up 4.94%. Fundamentally not sound. RT is above 1, CI below 1. This is a volatile stock because CI is below 1. Where's their earnings? Positive earnings growth at 7%. At least both of those are positive, even with the report that came out. And it is grossly overvalued. All right. Drew, I don't disagree with you, but again, I'm not going down that path. So, all right, that's the first stock. Next one is Rivian. Rivian picks up $1.1 billion in revenue. That's a lot of money and boosts forecasts, but investors go mild. Rivian, I still know Lucid is the more expensive car. Rivian's got a beautiful truck. We got a couple of them in Mooresville, so I've seen them. EV startup Rivian beat second quarter earnings with a loss of 1.08, expected to be 1.41. So that catches my attention right away. It's still negative. They ain't making money. All right. Overall, the company burned through $1.2 billion for the quarter compared with $1.7 billion cash incineration from a year ago. I think the raising of the capital, but if you're going to burn through it and you're not showing anything for it, well, maybe you are. It's a little less negative. That's a positive sign. The good news, revenue surged to $1.1 billion from $364 million in a year ago. So maybe they are making money, in a large part due to the delivery of roughly 12,640 cars. All right. With some supply chain issues clearing up, Rivian ramped up its 2023 production to 52,000 cars. Ooh, that's big shoes to fill. All right, that's big shoes to fill. They're going all in. Can they handle that? Can they really put out 52,000 cars? We're going to see. All right, next one, Mullen, which I call Messy Mullen. I did a video called Messy Mullen. The numbers for Rivian are a beat, but the stock's slightly lower. Currently, we're not taking any action with Rivian, but it must be said that each significant dip provides an opportunity. Actually, Rivian is up today. You just saw that, Dan. How about Palantir? Ooh, I still own Palantir. That's my third stock for you guys today. I'm writing that down. I'm in Palantir. Everybody knows. I'm in Palantir. I'm up a little bit on it. Took a hit. All right. Mullen has begun production of its Mullen 3. The vehicles will be manufactured at its plant in Tunica, Mississippi, which has the ability to produce 3,000 Class 3 cars per year. That's not a lot of cars. Mullen stock is down by more than 95% this year. Again, on our channel, I did a video called Messy Mullen. Now, Lucid is better. Lucid is really expensive. And I talked about that yesterday, Rich Girl, on the stream with Ryan. Lucid is actually trying to cut back on the pricing of their cars because the pricing right now is far out of a lot of people's reach. So I did look at Lucid. I may add Lucid to here as well. Doesn't Tunica have a casino? Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't that in Ocean's 11 or 12 or 13 about Tunica? I think it was. Anyway, that's a big move to the downside. But you know something, Rich Girl? I will add Lucid to the list. My third stock in the EV space is Stellantis. Now, this is why Stellantis caught my attention. I see. We still up there. We're almost at 300 people. Folks, let's get to 300 people today. We're at 278. Let's get to 300 people. You know, I've been pushing for the longest time. I love it that people are here today. All right, Stellantis is my third EV company. They lower prices. So we all know that Tesla is going to be building a car in India, which comes out to about 24 grand. They're going to make an all-electric car coming out of India, about $24,000. How about this? No, that's the Leaf. There it is. Stellantis has revealed that the company's plan to unveil a second new entry level Fiat branded vehicle July 2024, a year from now, that will be priced less at about $27,390. Now, that's not a 24, it's about $3,000 more, but it puts EVs into a lot more people's hands. Now, one of the big headwinds when I started getting on board with the EV space, you know, there was a couple of headwinds. One was that it was going to be hard on the grid. Two, that there wasn't enough charging. I think that the charging is coming into play. Tesla is giving access to a lot of companies to use their charging. They got more charging than anybody. The price of the cars. All right. The price of the cars was also a big issue. And I think that Tesla was already going after that, and now Stellantis is going after that. And I think that more and more of these companies are going to be able to do that as well, especially if they get out of lithium batteries. I did a story on solid state batteries. I think that they're expensive now, but with the technology move, it could be the next big thing is an alternative to lithium. And then we did briefly a story on hydrogen yesterday. So there's three carbon alternatives to combustion engines. There's there's lithium, which is already in play right now, solid state, which is up and coming, and hydrogen, which is still in the process, but three different ways to get out of gas vehicles. The most concerning EV issue during extremely cold weathers are significant range reductions, longer charging times, less power availability. And Dan, there's still headwinds. I think that through the technology going the way that it is, advancing that the way it is, I think all of those things will be looked at. Now, Marty brought up a good point in the story. The new C3 is expected to have a range of 186 miles per charge. That is the downside on having a lower dollar car. 186 miles ain't a lot. That's a lot more charging. So they're going to have to do something about that, or maybe because it is the low dollar car, maybe it's not if you're trying to travel all over the country. If you go to work and you don't live far from work and you want to run around, this might be perfect for you, Marty, at 27 grand. It might be perfect for you. I could probably do that because I don't live far from work. 186 miles will last me a few days. Drew says that's enough for a golf course. I hear you. How will roads be paid for without gas tax? Listen, so then, you know something? Politicians get creative in paying for stuff, don't they, David? Don't they, David? So with that, they'll do whatever they need to do. They'll find another tax in order to make it all happen. All right, they'll find another tax to make it all happen. But a lot of people think that I feel that we're going to be out of gas cars soon. We're not. All right, we're not. All right, I don't think that we'll ever be out of gas cars. But I think at some point in time in the next 10 years, we'll have more EVs on the road than we have gas cars. That's where I think we're going to be. All right, so those are my three companies, Rivian, Mullen, and Stellantis. Let's go add those to my list. Rivian, R-I-V-N, Rivian, Mullen, M-U-L-N, and Stellantis, S-T-E-L-L-A-N-T-I-S. LA. Now, if I'm looking at these are news driven. Don't say ever, Mike. Listen, I hear you. I just don't think that will ever happen. I just don't. Karosh, we'll look at that stock. All right, so Stellantis comes to the top of the list by VST. Again, I like the story, way overvalued though. I like the story from the standpoint of going after Tesla with a lower dollar car, putting more people into EVs. I'm with you, Marty. I don't think 186 miles is going to cut it unless you're staying close to the vest as far as where you drive. Rivian got money. They blew through money, but could they be on the rise? I'm looking at them. Relative value is right at 1. Relative safety below 1. Both of these news-driven. I'm looking at RTs above 1. Let's go look at their earnings and earnings growth. They both have, wow, Rivian's got a stronger earnings growth, even though it's got negative earnings, stronger earnings growth. Stellantis, on the other hand, has positive earnings and positive earnings growth. And then let's go look at Mullen. Out of the 3, it's the only stock that's a sell recommendation. It's got a relative value above 1. So Mullen has got good upside. It's just not the right time to be in it. The stock is priced at, is that really right? 10 cents? That can't be right. Is that right? Is it really priced that low? Auto fit all the, is it really priced at 10 cents? Wow, I really called that messy, Mullen. VinFast, EV Vietnamese EV will be competitive for low dollar EV car market. They have not IPO'd yet, but showrooms here in California. When that time comes, Robert, we'll talk about it. All right. But I think a lot of people still trying to get into the space. The problem is, are they going to be able to provide the actual cars? That's the problem. And any EV that I look at, the only way it's really worth its weight in salt is if it can provide the vehicles. The demand is there. Can the companies, and that other vehicle, what was it? Was it the Rivian that was putting out only 3,000 cars? That's not a lot of cars. That's not a lot of cars compared to Tesla, compared to NIO, compared to even Stellantis. There's not a lot of cars. To replace the gas tax, Washington is charging EV owners by the miles traveled. Now that I don't know about, Douglas, so I can't answer to that. Uranium is going crazy due to the civil war in Nigeria. We talked a little bit about uranium yesterday. I talk about uranium every opportunity that I can. Uranium is a really good alternative to oil and giving a lot of energy for a long time. I love uranium, and it's not anything that I've not talked about, Dan. I've talked about it on more than one occasion. All right, what else is happening? What else is happening in the world? Let's talk about another alternative to oil. First Solar chooses Louisiana to build 5th U.S. panel factory. All right, so why did that make news for me? The company plans to invest $1.1 billion to set up a facility in the Iberia Palace. Where is that at? In Louisiana. Ooh. What other industry does that help us in that I've been talking about as well? Somebody type it in the room. What does this story have to do with another set of industries that I'm interested in? Anybody? Anybody? What other industries does this help us in? They got to build this facility. Construction, absolutely. Construction's been hot on my radar, right? It's been hot on my radar. And this is another story. Cement, construction, glass, all of that. That's here in the United States. All right, that's here in the United States, $1.1 billion. No, stop it, Jake. Sigh. Jake says quantum industry. Stop. And now he's chuckling behind his computer. All right, what else in this space? No, Mark, stop laughing and encouraging him. What else in this space? How about Rio Tinto to build a large solar plant to power diamond mine in Canada's Northwest Territories? So solar could be on the rise. All right, so we're going to look at First Solar And I'm going to look at Rio Tinto because that could be a bigger mover for it as well. Let's go and add on First Solar, FSLR, and Rio. All right, let's go add them both. And Mark said he actually did laugh out loud. I know he did. Saw a story, industrial construction up 305 year over year in June. Michael, you do know, you see this right here? Where's it at? Oil, gas, dividend. Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. I've been tracking this for the longest time. You see that, right? Everybody sees that. Dan says I'm sleeping on uranium. Sigh. All right, let's stop that right now. Have you guys not heard me talk about uranium as often as I can on this channel? Type of 1. If I've never talked about, you've never heard me talk about uranium. Type of 2. Dan, I'm about to shut this down right now. I'm about to shut this down. How many of you have heard me talk about uranium on this channel? Type of 1. If you've never heard me talk about uranium on this channel, type of 2. Now, Dan, look at the chat. Who's sleeping? Who's, don't even start, Jake. Who's sleeping? I ain't never slept on uranium. I talk about it and do stories on it as often as I can. Dan, I ain't sleeping. Sigh. John says, 1, and I heard you talk about politics too. No, you ain't never heard about me talk about politics. Marty says, pay attention, Dan. Marty says, pay attention, Dan. All right. So, First Solar, you know something? Slightly overvalued, fundamentally sound. I'm going to tell you to keep your eyes on that. It's fifth factory. All right. It's fifth factory. I'm not saying no to that. And it's up a little bit today. Rio, in regards to it as well, you know, something slightly overvalued, down a little bit today. News driven could drive it up. All right. But if I'm looking at the two stocks in that story, I am definitely feeling First Solar. Definitely feeling First Solar. All right. What else is going on in the world? Let's go find out. Oh, banks. How many times have you heard me talk about the other shoe's got to fall for the banking industry? Type of 1. All right. If you don't care about the banking industry, type of 2. But I've talked about the second shoe has got to fall in regards. SoftBank deprioritizes speed. They're going all in on AI. I got to let that set in a little bit. I think the reason why you're in the situation that you were in is because of your short-term stuff and your long-term stuff, investments. And you turned around and you got hit. And this is why I say the other shoe has got to fall on the banks. 343 of its portfolio companies have lost value. You think SoftBank is the only one in this situation right now? No. Not only that, Fitch just downgraded banks. Yeah. I'm telling you, the other shoe hasn't fallen yet. And I am bearish on banks. I want you, as a matter of fact, I'm not even going to put SoftBank in here. I'm going to put in BNKD. BNKD. That's a contra for the banks. You guys need to keep your eyes on that. It's relatively inexpensive. All right. The RT is still below 1. It's a sell. Don't sleep on this, Dan. Dan, you paying attention? Don't sleep on this. This is a trade. If the banks start getting more and more scrutinized, this little son of a gun here is going to take off. You heard it here. All right, you heard it here. Before it takes off and somebody says, "Oh, you didn't tell us about it." That's what you're going to sound, just like that. You didn't tell us. You heard it here. All right, you heard it here. As soon as the banks go blank, your cast will go zap. Well, no, because we got Fed now. We're going to, I think, you know something, I'm going to go down the conspiracy theory a little bit, just a little bit. So you notice that the Fed now is out. That's the digital U.S. currency. They're in the background. They went live last month. They're just sitting in the background going, la, 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 la. And if the banks start to go kaplooey, I think there's going to be a bigger push for us to get into digital currency. And the Fed has already set the stage with its Fed Now digital currency. It'd be kind of interesting on the timing, wouldn't it? Now, I went a little bit down the conspiracy theory. I told you that I did. But how many of you think that the Fed now coming out with the digital currency and the bank situation the way it is, that the timing is kind of suspect? Type of 1 in the room. If you think that I'm just bloviating, type of 2. I admitted that it was a conspiracy theory path that I was going down. All right? So if you type a 2, that's fine. I'm just looking at what I see. Kind of interesting that the Fed now, the digital currency is coming out at the same time that we got issues with the bank. And again, for those of you who are typing 2, I'm okay with that. It was a question. There's no judgment. There's no judgment at all. All right. So if you're typing a 2, it's all good. All right. It's all good. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just posing the facts. I'm posing what I see. That's all that I'm doing. All right. That's all that I'm doing. Bobby in Utah says scary about the Fed and digital currency. I've made my comments known that the Fed will now have full control over your money. Whereas I got money in my wallet now. If I go to Wally World and I go give them a $20 bill, the Fed's got no control over that. But I've gone down my path in regards to that is kind of scary. All right, that it is kind of scary. What effect, if any, will the Fed dig currency have on existing cryptos? I don't know yet, Tom. I don't know yet. The cryptos, for the most part, are not regulated, with the exception of probably Bitcoin and T0, which I talked about. That's a crypto that I did talk about. Made you guys a lot of money on that. I made a lot of you some money on T0. But that's a crypto that has been approved by the SEC. There's not a lot of cryptos out there that have. And then, you look at ARK, you look at some of the other companies that are out there that are trying to get an ETF. We already got it. And thanks to Mark. Thank you, Mark. I talked about some of the the crypto ETFs that are already out there. All right. So banks are not your friend. Crypto can be if you're knowledgeable. Everybody also knows how I feel about crypto as well. I'm not a big fan of it. All right. Not yet anyway. I'm not a big fan of it. It is what it is. I think it's still real too volatile. And I think FTX blew it out the water for a lot of people. All right. So I didn't put SoftBank, but I did put BNKD. I'm telling you, keep your eyes on it. If you're not a subscriber to the VectorVest system, guess what? If you go to our main website, www.vectorvest.com, from our main website, which looks just like this, we got a lot of stuff here on our website, folks. Again, you don't even have to be a subscriber to get access to all of this. Go over to the blog. Every day we try to put out a stock for you and give you our insights on it. Stocks that are relevant in the news. Beyond Meat's disastrous earnings send shares down nearly 19%. Sorry, Rizé is on here again. Sorry. 19%. Should you sell this stock? Interesting. Let's click on the story. All right. And we do this for you. We try to put out 1 or 2 stocks every single day. Every single day. Greg says, look at the MACD and RT on BNKD. Good call, Glenn. Getting close. Again, I'm telling you to keep your eyes on it. And again, I'm trying to get you out there prepared for it. The bank's got some stuff. All right. The bank's got some stuff. What are you asking, Rich Girl? What companies? What companies are you talking about, Rich Girl? All right. Beyond Meat's disastrous earnings, blah, blah, blah. Beyond Meat had its brutal start to the week as the stock has slid almost 19% over the past few days. The meat substitute company boomed when it IPO'd. How many of you in the Jockey Club made a whole lot of money with me when it IPO'd 4 years ago? I rode that stock up 100% when it first came out. I rode that stock up to 100% when it first came out. My wife said, hey, baby, you should get into it. I was like, nah. She was like, no, you should get into it. Thanks to her, we made 100% return on that stock. 100%. All right. I shorted Beyond Meat thanks to VectorVest when all the talking heads were saying they were going to take over the meat industry. I love shorting crap stocks like this, says John. So we're going to add that to the list. BYND. Going to add that to the list. BYND. And let's take a look at it. John might be on to something. Let's go. We're into the program. Where's BYND? It's up today. It's up today. Fundamentally not sound. It definitely is way overvalued. All right, look at the earnings. They don't make money, and they've got negative earnings. John, the analysis on VectorVest was right on point. And I'm glad that you were able to make some money on that. But there's nothing good about it. And when it first came out, it was a fad. Woo, Beyond Meat. We can eat meat, then it's not real meat. I ain't ate nothing that is Beyond Meat. I'm a carnivore. I'm a straight up carnivore. I will not apologize for it. I love the meat. I grill the meat. I cook the meat. I cut the meat. I eat the meat. I don't want Beyond Meat. My wife will eat the turkey burgers and she'll eat the bean, whatever the heck it is. I'm not eating none of that stuff. That's just me though. It's not my forte. It's not my forte or fifte. All right. Are you trying to tell me to move on? Oh, okay, fine. Beyond Meat is going the way of the tattoo chef. Another great VV short. All right. Let's go. These are the stocks that made the news. A couple of them are buy recommendations. I'm telling you, this Stellantis story, low dollar cars to compete with Tesla. I think that's a good play. First Solar, Fifth Factory, Rio Tinto's jumping on board with that. Alternative to coal. I like them. Rivian, I'm not too sure about. I don't think they're putting out a lot of cars. Disney, trying to help the bottom line by raising your subscription fees on streaming. I don't think that's I think that was a smart play on their part to raise more capital, but with the strike going on, the content's going to be limited. You're going to make people pay more for limited content. This is going to be my hot stock for the week. BNKD, the micro sectors for the banks. Keep your eyes on it. Messy Mullen, I'm still not feeling it. An EV company trading at 11 cents. I know it's undervalued, but I'm not feeling that. And of course, Beyond Meat, I'm not feeling that as well. All right, so let's talk about my hottest industries. Hottest industries, what I do is I go to the Unisearch tool. I look at the sectors, 10-day price delta. I run it. And then I look at the sector graphs to make sure that they're running. I got the deltas. Which ones? Look at that. Petroleum's still hot. In the last 10 days, by price, petroleum is up 6%. Petroleum's still a really good play. All right. I still own WTI. All right. I'm in WTI. A little bit down today, but oil is still a hot play. And I go through all of the sectors. I look at the sector graph. Then I look at the industries. And then I come up with a list for you. All right, here's my list for today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 stocks. Nope, sorry, that was last week. Let's go to this week. Here's I think I got 8 or 9 stocks here too. No, I only got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stocks. Oil is in here. Let's move over. I got insurance, oil, and office. Those are my 3 different industries. Here's my stocks for them. I tried to make sure that they were fundamentally sound for the most part. Just about all of them have RTs above 1. And look at the CIs. Most of them have CIs above 1. All positive earnings growth. How about this stock? I don't know how many of you know it, but this is NRT, North Euro Oil, 47% earnings growth. And my other oil stock, PBT, 43% earnings growth. I still think oil is a good play. All right, so here's my stocks for you this week. Let's go see what the stocks I had from last week. Should we short Wells Fargo? I don't know. I'll put that down, though. No uranium. No, just stop it, Jake. All right, let's go see what my stocks did from last week doing the same process. Let's go see if we could have made some money. Let's go back to the 3rd. Let's quick test them. See how they worked out. Woof, down. Woo-wee. BPT oil stock. Look at that, down over 10%. I still think it's a good play. But United Airlines last week went up, but that hurt us bad. San Juan was in there too. Do you know? Oh, that's San Jose. This is San Juan. All right, but that's a big hit. And we did worse than the market did week over week. All right, let's go see what they can do going into next week. I got no shorts in here. I think I probably should make one up for shorts too, but we'll see. Here's my industry: cement, steel, copper, and glass for the construction part. Let's go see what they've done over the last week. This has still been, a lot of you made some money over these as well. Let's see how they worked over the last week. They went down. I wonder why. Oh, because the market's going down. All right. And I've said it on, and this was probably one of my best stocks in the list, TGLS. A lot of people are taking profits on that because they've made a lot of money on that. But the other part of that is about 80% of the stocks in the market move with the trend of the market. And that's what's going on right now. Even though I love all of these stocks that I've got in here, may not be the right time because of what's going on in the market right now. All right. I'm not going to do swing trades. Doesn't make sense. Speculative plays doesn't make sense. Contras make sense. Contras do make sense right now. A few of them are going up. How about TZA? Let's just sort this. Which ones are going up today? Even on a day like we got today. Out of the 12 in here, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are going up. One is flat, and the other ones are going down. All right. I still think that everything that's going on, Contras probably is a good place to be. I didn't do a weekly shorts puts this time. I should have. I should have, but I didn't. I'm going to empty that. I should have, but I didn't. Oil and gas. Let's go look at it. I did a 3-day. Boneless, skinless, yes, but you could take. Glenn, I have a question. Do you think Nvidia will fill its gap given the strong its earnings were? Maybe. I'm putting that stock down as well. Nvidia. I put that down. Oil and gas. Look at that. Boyle, we made money on. Hopefully we got out of it in the Jockey Club. We took some profits on that, but they're all hurting. I still think by way of the supply compared to the demand that oil's. Listen, I feel it in my bones. I do. But you got to wait for the market to come to you on this. You definitely got to wait for the market to come to you on this. All right. My weekly theme. What's my weekly theme? Here's my weekly theme before we get into your stocks. We're only going to do 10 of your stocks. But this is something, because we're in hurricane season, I've got hurricane stocks. Somebody typed something about Generac in here. There it is. Generac is one of my stocks. A lot of boats get destroyed during the hurricane season. Keep your eye on MPX. Of course, Home Depot. Cars get all jacked up and you need parts. CPRT is good for that. Lowe's and NOV. I forgot what NOV was for. NOV. So that when a lot of the oil rigs get hit, it provides equipment and technology to the upstream oil and gas industry. So that's a good one as well. Generac did not do well on earnings. Michael, if homes get hit, they're going to need generators. Keep your eyes on Generac. All right. Remember, these are definitely hurricane season stocks. All right. How many of you thought that this was cool to be able to provide this for you? Type of one in the room. It's just another way to make money in the market, to provide a listing of stocks specifically for the hurricanes. When the hurricanes start coming through, this is a good list of stocks to keep your eyes on. All right, this is a good list of stocks. I'm just trying to make sure I try to put into your hands as much pertinent information. Now, John says Generac showed up on his shorts list. I think that wait, and just keep your eyes on it. That's all. Just keep your eyes on it. What's your blog? It's on our main website. Go all the way to the top of the main website. You'll see the blog up there. Jake says, hit the like button, people. I agree. I'm trying. All right. Let's get into some customer picks for you. I've been writing down some stocks for you. So we're only going to do 10 stocks. I only need a few. Stocks that you asked me to look at. SoFi, DWAC, Palantir. That's 3. TIO. That's 4. Enphase. That's 5. Wells Fargo. That's 6. Wells Fargo. That's 6. Nvidia. That's 7. SMCI. That's 8. UUUU. I'll take that. That's 9. MPC, that's 10. Siberia says, great idea, tagged for hurricane season. CCJ, I'll put that. That's also a uranium stock. GCT, I know I said 10. Rock, comma, MPC is already up there. SMDD, AMD, comma, Wave, comma, GGR. All right. GGR can't be found. All right. Here we go. Let's go peep through these real quick. Best stock on the list, still SMCI, up. Look at that, up again. A lot of people have been asking me, should I have gotten out of it? Again, I did a video specifically looking at SMCI, giving you some techniques to know when to get out of it. Worst stock on the list, Wave. I have no idea what it does. It's a eco wave power. Not fundamentally sound. It is a sell recommendation. TO. Somebody wanted me to look at TO. Also sell recommendation. Enphase. Probably with Generac. Both of them are in that sell scenario. Enphase, I would keep on board with that hurricane list as well. But CCJ, UUU, and I think those are the only two for uranium. CCJ looks like the better play. All right, let's graph all of these real quick. Let's graph them all, put them on a 3-month graph. If I'm looking at them, SMCI, big pullback. I would have gotten out yesterday, or at least gotten out of half of it yesterday with the 3-8 cross. A little bit of rebound today. If you got out of half of it, you're still riding it back up. All right, next one. MPC looks great. Holy smokes. I'm going to cheer for that. 3-month high, new 3-month high. The volume has been trading at or above average volume. I love the trade. I watch the wicks at the top. There's some selling pressure coming in. If you're in it, I wouldn't be afraid to take some off the table. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a sell point. If the price falls below the 3 on an end of day basis, take that off the table or take half off. Rock. Looks like it's starting to fade the gap. There's the gap. It's right at it. If it starts to fade the gap, it's going to have some more downside. The 3 and 8 are about to cross, just not there yet. Keep your eyes. If you still own that, I wouldn't mind taking some of that off the table. GCT, I like the move. I don't like the volume, though. I don't like the volume. Actually, let me zoom in here. Then the volume will look better. Yep. I like the move. I don't like the closed candle today. Big selling pressure. If you're in it, I wouldn't mind taking half off the table. Or, end of day, if it goes below the 3, I would probably get out of it. NVIDIA. I liked NVIDIA the most because of price action in the chip space. Right now, I wouldn't be in it. Not only did the 3-8 cross, it had a level of support. It crossed here again and now broke through the support. There's no reason why you should still be in it. Wait for a better buying opportunity. I still like the stock overall in this space, but I think SMCI is the better play, especially by way of price action. CCJ, there's a uranium play in a little bit of a channel right now, a little bit of a hammer formation, but not able to get through the 3-month high. I would like to see it get above that before I jump on board. Wow, EMPH probably looks just like Generac moving down. Bobby says, I'm fairly new to VectorVest, and I do best learn how to use Contras. Again, Bobby, Ryan put out a video yesterday about Contras, and there's going to be a video tonight on our YouTube channel as well, part 2 about Contras. So we'll help you with that. I see Palantir on the stocks chart above. Yep, we'll get there. We'll get to Palantir. Wells Fargo, wow. There's nothing telling me that you should still be holding it. Look at the 3-8 cross a few days ago. That's your entry out. Or here, when it went below the 3, that's a better entry out. If you're still holding it, though, I do have a level of support sitting right here. That's up to you if you still want to hold it. Let's go to SoFi. Oof. It faded the gap. It gapped up, faded. Was that an earnings play? Yes, it was earnings. And look at the pullback. The 3 and 8 crossed a few days ago. That could have been a great opportunity to get out as it faded the gap. I do have a level of support down here. If you still want to hold it, that's up to you. But there's no reason as of the graph right now. AMD in a channel. AMD is in the channel. NVIDIA was not pulling its weight. SMCI still looks good. If I'm looking at all 3 in the space. TO, oof. It gapped down. That was an earnings play. It gapped down. I got a level of support sitting at about 82 cents. It's got some room, but the 3 and the 8 cross after the earnings play, that would have been my time to get out right there on the 3, on the earnings day. Yeah, today would be the day. All right, let's go to the next one. SMDD ultra short on something. On MC. What the heck is MC4? Anyway, I do like the bounce off support. I do like that it recently went above the stop price. I do like the 3 and the 8. I like the move as an ETF short, especially if the market continues to move down. Oof, Palantir. I still own it. I still own it. I still own it. And you know something? It's not down more than my stop. I still own it, and it's still not more. It's not down more than my stop, so I'm okay. But by way of the graph, I probably should have been out on the earnings date when the 3 went below, and they didn't beat earnings. But prior to that, they beat earnings for 2 quarters in a row. All right. Another uranium stock also sitting in the channel. Big selling pressure. Big selling pressure. I still like the play. Let this come to me. Strawberry says, ANG is something I'm like to love you all. Gotta go to work. Have a good day, Strawberry. All right. Let's go to the next one. DWAC. That's all news driven. You look before that. It's all over the place. That's all news driven. The 3H crossing, up to you if you want to buy it. I'm not going in on that stock. That's a 3-month. That doesn't look appealing to me. And even the last time it did that, look how far it pulled back. Short term, if you want to take it off the news, buy it. All right. On Wave, look at that. I must have looked at it before because it's got a downtrend, and it's still in the downtrend. It's still in the downtrend. I don't like this play at all. Over the whole 3-month time period, it's only been a hold or a sell, and currently in a downtrend. All right. With all of that being said, I think that's done. I think I'm done. All right. We looked at a lot of stuff. Hey, if you haven't hit the like button yet, hit the like button. We almost got to 300 people. We pulled back, but we almost got to 300 people. Thank you guys for making that happen. That was a lot of people here. So there we go. A lot of good information, especially on the hurricane stocks. That was just for you. That was just for you. All right, I think I'm done. Remember, Ryan's got part 2 of the Contras tonight. His first part did well. Support him. All right, he's busting his butt for you guys. Support him. Watch the video. Wow, 60 minutes of Glenn went by in the flash. Joey, how does he do this? Joey was trying to get me to go faster. 300, most of the pews were filled. I know, Sonny. That was beautiful. Thank you guys for making that happen. I don't know who did it, but somebody invited a group of people of some sort that got those people here. Thank you so much for making that happen. Thank you guys so much. All right, hit the like button. Even after this is up on YouTube, share it. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha today. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. I am praying for you. Hawaii is being devastated right now by fires. I am definitely praying for the people in Hawaii. Aloha to you. Bon dia. Salam, shalom, namaste. Yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.